I went to Greece in October of 2007. It was a chance for me to visit what remains of ancient Greece. I did a lot of homework with guidebooks and about Greece in general and about Athens in particular. Checked out a lot of websites, found maps very helpful. Got maps like this and marked them up with places I wanted to go and see. Mined the data, compared between different guidebooks to try to get very well prepared, and made a red book with details about things I wanted to do, places I wanted to go, and so on and so forth. And we set off via Singapore and arrived in Athens. 7:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd hired a driver. He picked us up and delivered us at the Hotel Adrian in the Plaka. There's the Hotel Adrian in the shadow of the Acropolis. Across the street from the Hotel Adrian, a plaza with 4 restaurants in it. We went walkabout at 8:30. That's my first glimpse of the Acropolis. I took many pictures of the Acropolis, as one does, perhaps looking for the right one. It certainly dominates the city, particularly the old city, but visible from other places as well. We went walking along Pandrousis Street, a shopping street that's a hive of activity from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., but inert here at 8:30 in the morning. Our first mission was to find Plato's Academy. This was a bit daring, since Plato's Academy was off all of those maps I had consulted beforehand, but I had a street name and some coordinates. And we found first the road to Plato's Academy, fenced in like this. Took a picture. If you step back, you see that it's more prosaic for those who live there. And what you see when you look through the fence is the remnant of a roadbed, I guess. Kate patted the dog of a fellow who was sitting under a tree drinking his morning coffee, and he communicated to her the idea that if you wanted Plato's stuff, there was more with another 10-minute walk, so off we went. He was absolutely right. We found the grounds, not just the road to, but the grounds of Plato's Academy. And there I am with my red book. There's Kate, still looking a bit proprietary, since it was her initiative that got us there. And we went through the fence. Oh, I take pictures of street signs to help us in our bearings if we get lost, so I turned around and took that one. And then we went in. There's Catester, walking through the Grove of Academe. Plato bought the grounds from a man named Academus, and so it was Plato's Academus. That's where the name comes from. And here's some of the grove with some of the stones that could well be 2,500 years old. It's an undeveloped site. We read about it in the newspaper later, so there are no signs, no information, but here are some certainly some heavy stones. On the way back, we went to the Kerameikos, the ancient cemetery, and the site of Pericles' funeral oration. Some indication there of the scale of what remains. 2 roads run through it: the road the profane road that led to Plato's Academy, among other things, and the sacred road used only by priests, and 2 gates, one used by the priests and one by the profane travelers. There's the Acropolis from the Kerameikos. The Acropolis is always visible. There's part of a wall that runs through it, the defensive wall on the perimeter of the city, built by Themistocles, and there's a double gate, and Pericles would have stood in the double gate facing the city with the Acropolis on his right to deliver that famous speech, and that's the Acropolis on your right when you stand in the Diplon gate. Everywhere I go, where there is tourist information like this, I take pictures of it. If you watch this on a PC and magnify it, you can read it. This serves as an aide-memoire for me about what I saw and why I took the pictures. But not nearly as much information in Greece as I had hoped for in the way of these signs. The Scots Tourist Board could certainly give some lessons here in providing further information. Here's one of those roads, the road that eventually led to Plato's Academy that we saw the other end of first. And some of the funerary art, although most of these are reproductions. The originals are in museums now. And there is a museum on the grounds of the Kerameikos containing the Oberlander collection of funerary relics and so on, and other things that were dug up on the site. That's a common approach to museums in Greece. This refers to a ossuary urn that allegedly contained the remains of Alcibiades. Imagine being within the thickness of a pane of glass of something that had touched Alcibiades. Well, there it is. And in the next display, or further along in the displays, this reference to a pottery shard used in a vote for ostracism, and the name carved on it or scratched on it is Cimon in the lower right there. Kinsman of Thucydides, but a major figure in his own right. And here ends part 1.